All right, we are recording. Yes, we are. And this is Mentorship Masters Roundtable Meetup. It's the time that I like to get together with you guys. Once a week, we get together, we break bread together, we learn from each other, not just learn from me, but we learn from each other. And we succeed. We succeed at our highest level. And today, our topic is going to be all about this bad boy right here that I created years ago. It's actually the number one tool that I use in my business to generate more listings. And here it is, right? Consider it sold. Woo! And actually, I started licensing it out, and so that other people could actually have that same benefit of success. This is actually the newest version, and you can call it whatever you want. Tony has his, he calls it Ready, Set, Sold. So I've got people, men and women, teams all over the country using it, and they're generating more listings. They're generating more seller confidence behind them, and they're leaving, it's what we call an IOV, an item of value, a fantastic item of value. So what I did recently, in fact, within the last week, a week and a half, I went through and redid mine, okay? So I got my different picture on the front. This picture, this is when I first got into real estate. I was like 33 years old. And you guys can see I got my nice tan working. Boy, I've been at the pool just about every single week in this almost 100-degree weather, working on my tan, working on getting that nice caramel popping there. On the back of it, you've got your directory, okay, which completely pays for the whole thing. And then you've got which are your sponsors, okay? So I'm going to walk you through how to put this together. You know, you already know why you should do it. Obviously, the number one secret that I teach you guys is to become famous, okay? And it's not by accident. I mean, well, people say, oh, well, I'm not Knolly Williams. I can't. Well, there's a lot of people that are a lot more well-known than I am, and there's no excuse for you not to be the you that you are, okay? If you're not you, if you're not the you that you are, who's holding you back? It ain't me. If you want to know who's holding you back, just look in the mirror, because most people are holding themselves back from their ultimate greatness just by not going out and doing the stuff that I teach them to do. That's very easy. And I give you the tools. Here at Mentorship Masters, you get it for free. Most people pay $1,000 to license this. And if you're one of those, you're watching this after the fact, you're not in our Mentorship Masters, come join us, talk to one of our Mentorship Masters. We'd be happy to have you in the family. And if you've already invested in this, I'm going to show you today how to put it together, some of the questions that I get a lot of common questions, and I'll also show you some resources to go to get your questions answered. It's super duper simple, guys, super duper simple. Okay, so let's kick it off. I'm going to go straight to the PowerPoint that I put together for you guys. And I know there's a couple comments, but I'll get to those in a minute. So this is what we call the overnight, or what I call the overnight celebrity success toolkit. You're in Mentorship Masters, you automatically have this toolkit, okay? If you're not using it, shame on you. I've been using a toolkit. I tell you, if you're hot, if you're good without a toolkit, without the pre-listing package, you'll be on fire with one. You'll be on fire with it. So I just recently went in and changed out all the forms. I've kind of updated them. I went and edited the book. I do this about every year or two. I go through and edit the content just to make it more relevant, more fresh, if need be. And so you have access to all this. But before we go into that, I want to just acknowledge some of our new masters that are just coming on. We've got Angela Skloss. She's actually a broker, real estate broker, that has decided to hang her license right here at EXP. And so we welcome Angela to the family. I sponsored her in. We've got Cindy Horn, who is now one of our Mentorship Masters, and I sponsored her as well. We've got Mary Guzman, who Will Gilliam brought in. And we've got Elena, who was brought in by Anthony Chambers. And we've got Tiffany, who was brought in by Anthony Chambers. That's Elena Limbrick and Tiffany Coe, if I'm saying that right. So thank you, Anthony, for bringing more masters to us. We love, love, love having more masters. Just a recap of what we talked about last week, our masters of the month. We love giving them praise. We have a couple of masters. Actually, we have more masters now that have already capped. Okay, so in the next report, next month, you're going to see even more. We've already got 4 people that have capped. That means they're getting 100% commission. But we'll honor Will Gilliam and Tony Pippinger. They're both at 100% commission, capped already. And then our top 8 runners up: Katie Johnson, Nick Saranchunchin, David Dutton, Julie Green, Valerie Floyd, Leisha Martin, Terry Wilkes, and Sam Silver. What's up? All right, guys. You guys are producing. You know, the last couple of months, you guys have produced more. You've had more production than I've seen all of last year. So you guys are out there. You're selling. You're doing it. You're making it happen. If you have any questions around support for Mentorship Masters, Chris Capistrano is the guy to reach out to. This is his number, 512-982-2605. That's a direct number that will reach. He works every single day, full time. He's worked for me for 6 years, and he's great. So Chris at Knolly.com, if you need any help with anything Mentorship Masters related, he's the connection. If he can't answer it, guess what he'll do? He'll reach out to me, and then we'll get you answered. Because I'm busy. You guys know once the traveling ban is up, I'm going to be gone. I like to travel. I like to get out there and do things. And I like to, but I like to make sure you guys are supported. So Chris is your man for that. Remember, we launched the Ambassadors program last week, and you're an ambassador. You become a Mentorship Masters ambassador after you attract your first agent. If you didn't get a chance to go to watch our Mentorship Masters Ambassadors unveiling from last week, you want to go back out there and check it out because it was phenomenal. The biggest announcement we've made since we launched Mentorship Masters. So remember, there's 5 tiers of ambassador. We've got basic level. So when you sponsor your first agent, you're at basic. Okay. Then bronze is 5+. If you've got 10+ agents in your organization, you're at silver. Gold is 20+. Legend is 40+. Legend is 40+. So that is phenomenal. You guys can do it. I got my 40 in my first 8.5 months here at EXP. I'm now here 16 months, and I've got 70 people as of today, 70 people that I've personally enrolled. It's not hard to do, guys. They're coming into EXP by the bucket load. I mean, they are coming in. You guys are already seeing it happen. We have over 2,000 agents a month joining EXP, and they should be joining under you, right? So here's what the Ambassadors program is all about. Local ambassadors collaborate and unite to host local area monthly events. So once we get, we're back together, getting, commingling after COVID, you can host monthly events that I sponsor, that I promote and help you promote and help you get sponsors for and do all that. Local ambassadors also help assist our local area Mentorship Masters members. So this is a family, guys. It's not just me, it's us all together as a family. Just like Christ had his disciples, I've got mine, and you've got yours. So we all help each other. And then local ambassadors are prominently featured on our Mentorship Masters Ambassadors website, which is coming soon. And that's great for incoming referrals and agent attraction. So we're going to have our own, site where it's only featured our Mentorship Masters Ambassadors. These are you guys that are really out there helping us grow. And we're going to honor you by helping you get more business, more leads, and so on. So this is the Overnight Celebrity Success Toolkit. That's what we're here to talk about. That's what this particular call is focused on. Now let's dig in. So putting your seller guide together, there are some principles that I want to help you understand in how do you put your guide together. So I'm gonna walk you through this, and then I'm gonna answer any questions that you guys have. Now, most of your questions, I will say, are going to be answered on our support site, but I'll show you that in just a moment. So if you haven't done this yet, you can chat questions in, but much of this will be foreign to you because you haven't done it. And trust me, most of your answers are out there because I've been licensing this product for about 5 years, and I know pretty much every question that people have, and I think we've adequately answered it somewhere. But I'll point you in the right direction so you can get the help you need. Plus, we have a support person on staff that will help you. Her name is Noemi. She's my product specialist. She's worked for me for 5 years in that position, and she knows my products back and forward. So let's begin. So number one, this is a 6-step process I'm going to walk you through. The first thing that you want to do is you want to download the Overnight Celebrity Seller Toolkit. Okay. So if you're not in Mentorship Masters and you're watching this and you've purchased this program from me, then you received a link on how to download it. If you don't have the link, or you just can't find it anywhere, you're just going to email support@knollywilliams.com and we'll get you a replacement link for that. So now if you're in Mentorship Masters, all you've got to do is log into the portal. Okay, let me say it again. All you've got to do is log into the portal where everything Knolly lives, everything that I have lives inside the Mentorship Masters portal. And that's where it lives. That's its home. And so all you've got to do is log into the portal and go right to, in fact, let me just show you how to do that real quick. Let me stop this share, and then I'm gonna open up a different, okay, here we go. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna go to in fact, I'll do that. I'll do it from scratch here. Just go to the Mentorship Masters portal. When you get to the login page, you're just gonna log in, okay? And then once you're logged in, you're gonna go all the way over here to where it says Knolly Tools and Resources. See that right there? Click on that, and then you're gonna see Knolly's Complete Seller Guide and Toolkit unlocked, okay? You're gonna go in here, and then this is gonna give you a little bit more instructions. You're gonna click here to download this, and there's a link to the client support page, and there's also a few videos that I've recorded to help you as well, okay? So that's super simple, very, very easy to get to that. So the next thing you want to do after you've downloaded it is you want to preview the README First PDF. So I'm gonna walk you through how to do all this stuff. I'm just gonna show you the 6 steps first, and then I'll walk you through it. So there's a README First PDF that the reason why it's called README First is because you should read it first, okay? A lot of people call us and they're like, hey, what do I do? And this and that. And I'm like, have you read the README? They're like, no, I haven't read that yet. Okay, well, read that, and that will probably answer most of your questions. So the README First, you want to preview that. Then you want to print out the PDF of the book. That's step 3. So just so you know, the book itself is what we call vanilla. Let me say it again. The book itself is vanilla. So it doesn't need to have any changes whatsoever. When I first wrote the book, it was very, very geared to me. But I since years ago, I went in and created a book that's very generic. So anyone can actually take the book, not change a word in it, and make it their own book. But many other agents like to personalize it and make it their own. So you could do either way. I'm going to show you how to do that. But that's the 3rd step. If you want to personalize it, you want to print out the PDF of the book first in order to personalize it. Then you want to make edits on the PDF. This is kind of the easiest system to follow in order to have your own book in record time very, very quickly. I just did this past week is when I actually worked on mine, a week and a half ago. And it took me like an hour to go through the book and make my edits. And then it took me about another hour or 2 or less, maybe an hour and a half, to go through Word and make the edits. I'm going to walk you through all that today. So you make the edits on the PDF. This is what I recommend. So in other words, you print out the whole PDF, make the edits on it with a pen or highlighter and everything. And then you update your edits in the Word doc, in the provided Word document. This is a completely customizable book, okay? And then step 6, you send it to the printer per the instructions on the README Doc. This is how you put together your seller guide, steps 1 through 6, okay? Very, very super duper simple. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of walk you through. I actually printed this out so I could just walk you through how to do this. So download the Overnight Celebrity Seller Toolkit. That's step one. I've already showed you how to do that. Now, the second thing you want to do is preview the README First PDF. Okay, let me show you that so you'll know what I'm talking about. Let's see. So no, let's get out of this one. Hold on. All right, so let's go to the README doc itself, and I should have it open right here. So this is when you so here's the thing. When you download the whole system, let me see if I can show that to you. In fact, here we go. Well, let me just share this with you. If you have any questions around this, I'll tell you. But when you get the whole package, there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. And if you want to see what all comes with it, you can go to my main website, Success with Listings, and then click on right here where it says Your Seller Book. And that's going to take you to the website that walks you through everything that you're getting in this toolkit. Okay, it's got a lot of videos. In fact, I highly recommend this if you, even whether you've ordered it already or you are in Mentorship Master, so you get it for free. You want to walk yourself through this because this kind of explains everything that you're getting in this toolkit. There's a lot of stuff. There's videos, there's text that kind of explains, what it is, the psychology behind it, why I did it this way. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, but the average ghostwriter charges $1 per word, $1 per word. The book is about actually it's 12,473 words. So it's a $12,473 value. If you had a ghostwriter write this, it cost you more than $10,000 to do. So it's worth every penny if you licensed it. And if you're in Mentorship Masters, you need to be using it because it's phenomenal. But if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see there's a lot of content here. And this is very worthwhile for you to go through and read and understand what it is that you're getting, what it is that you have access to, because it's gold. Okay, this has the ability to create hundreds of listings for you. Now, if you go to the very bottom, you'll see that there's a lot of frequently asked questions, okay? And you want to make sure that you go through each of those and understand what those questions, those questions as well, okay? Because there's even going to be questions that you haven't thought of or asked, but I guarantee you they will come up. And so I help answer those for you. But let's go back to this quick start guide, okay? So the quick start guide is just that. This is the first thing you want to read, and it tells you, hey, option one is you can actually use the book without any edits at all, okay, with no changes. In that case, you just send it directly to the printer. And option two, you make editing changes to the inside pages, okay? And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Your book cover is super easy to edit as well. That's in Microsoft Word. So if you want a custom cover, you can do a custom cover. Or if you want to just go with the cover that I've created, it's super easy to change, edit. Let me show you. For example, this is what Cal Carter did. He basically created his book just with the cover that I provided, okay? And then this is the back of the book right there with his sponsors that paid. And basically what the sponsors do is they cover the cost of your printing your books. If you license the toolkit and you paid for it, they cover that cost as well, okay? So I'll explain a little bit more about that if you guys have questions about that. But I have many videos where I explain that also. So let's go back to where we were. Okay, so then the other thing is, as you go through the Quick Start Guide, it goes into how to pricing your books to get printed, what specs to use when you're printing them, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of information in the Quick Start Guide. I'm not going to go through all of it right here, but that's the first thing you want to do is you want to download the README First PDF, print it out, or you can read it right on your computer if you want, or your tablet. It's like 5 pages, and go through that just so you kind of have an overview of where we're headed with this. Now, step number 3. Okay, step number 3 is I recommend that you print out the PDF of the book. Print out the PDF of the book. So what I mean is, when you get the book, you'll have both a PDF version and you'll have a Microsoft Word version. Okay, the PDF version obviously is not editable. The Microsoft Word version is. So, but the PDF version, to me, the easiest thing is here. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I got to remember to jump back and forth with sharing my screen here. So, no, I don't want to do that. Hold on a second. Okay, so oh, by the way, let me show you, before I go to what I was going to show you, let me just show you the version of the book. Can you guys see that? Hold on, let me share a different way. Okay, so this is the book in Microsoft Word. Okay, and we'll go to that in a minute. But first, I want to let me just go back and show you it in the PDF version. So this is the PDF version of the book. Okay, and as you notice, it just goes through all the pages. It's 80 pages total. It's got a table of contents, etc., and it goes through all the pages. So what I recommend is that you just print this bad boy out, and then you with a pen, you just go through and you highlighter in a pencil or pen, and you just circle, underline, and just change the things that you want to change. When I went back through it about a week and a half ago, I didn't change that many things. I just added things to it because I would say, like, the Knolly team, at the Knolly team, we do this, or as a top Austin realtor, I input certain things in there that just made it more personalized. Okay. So again, the complete book is depersonalized completely, but if you want to go in and personalize it, you can. I recommend you print out the PDF, mark it up. And then if you're not good with Word, give the PDF to a college student, okay, or a high school student, or your son or daughter, your teenager. You give it to them and let them make the edits in Word, because it's super duper easy and simple. Now, if you don't have Microsoft Word, it's super easy to download Word. It's like, to get the paid version of Word, I think it's like $10 a month, but it's a 30-day free trial. So you can actually get it, use it, make all your edits, and then cancel your trial subscription if you're not going to continue using Microsoft Word. Okay, a lot of people do it that way, or you can keep Word as I did, and I just use it for other things, and I just pay the monthly fee or annual fee. So that's the step 3. You want to print out the PDF, make edits on the PDF is step 4. Update your edits in Microsoft Word. So let's look at that. So you're going to go into Microsoft Word, okay, and once you're in Word, that's where you're going to actually make these edits. So you can see here, I can actually go into Word, and it says right here, it says, your home is likely your single largest asset, and deciding to sell it is a big decision, okay? If you are thinking about selling your home in Austin, okay, I just added that, okay? Now it's in my book, okay? Now I can keep going and adding things, just like I did that, all throughout here, to whatever text that I've updated or that I've highlighted and marked and changed or crossed out. You can cross out certain things and add certain things, however you want to do it. You can customize it and completely make it your own, okay? And it's real easy to do this right here in Microsoft Word, okay? And I know you guys might have some questions around this. I know Teresa had a couple of issues around this, which I'm going to address when we have our Q&A time here in a minute. So that's that. And then on, by the way, it's super easy, guys. You just, if you know how to use Word, if you've ever used Word, you know how to edit the book. There's nothing, it's not difficult, okay? Now, if you get stuck, remember, Noemi is on our team and she can help you, okay, if you get stuck. We have her name, her email address is even hard for me to remember, but if you go to our support page, which is successwithlistings.com/support, those of you in our Mentorship Masters group, you can just log into the portal And I'm not sure, Chris's information is there. So Chris will help you. If he can't help you, he'll get you over to Noemi. So step 6 is you're going to send it to the printer per the instructions on the README Doc. Okay. So if you have any questions, you're going to contact support. And then I highly recommend that you plug into our weekly classes too, because you can ask me questions here on anything as well. So you're going to send it over to the printer. It's super duper simple. Now, before I take questions from you guys, I want to point out a few things. The reason why I created a sponsor directory on the back of the book, like you see right here, is because it just occurred to me. I mean, I got one just this week where they said, hey, we're looking for a sponsor. We need a real estate agent to sponsor our golf course. And we're only going to have so many sponsors, and we need one realtor. And they're getting sponsors for their golf course. I think it's a great idea. So what I did was I said, hey, what if we had sponsors that all these sponsors do is they pay $99. Listen to the idea. It's absolutely genius. Each of these sponsors pays $99. So in this case, this is Cal Carter. Okay. He got a home warranty, a carpet cleaner, a home inspector, a moving service, a cleaning service that cleans houses, and a handyman. Okay. He asked each of them to pay him $99 to be on the back of his book. Okay. Now the mortgage person pays $299, $300. So roughly $100 a piece, $300 here. That's $900. And by the way, this is per year. So they're paying him $99 a year to be on the back of his book. Now that $900, the book printing is about $3 per book to print these books, about $3. So when you print them out, by the way, you can print as few as 5 copies at a time. So don't go nuts and say, man, I'm going to print 100 copies. I had one guy printed 750 copies at one time. I don't recommend that because you might want to change something. You might have a handyman that's kind of a goof off and you're like, man, he's out. Okay. Then the next year you get somebody else. So you only have to print 5 at a time. I typically, I just printed 10. I'll print 20 more and then I'll print 30 and then 10. You don't have to go nuts on how many you print. They're roughly $3 per book to print them. So if you've got these people as sponsors paying you $900, now guess what? You can print 300 books a year for free. You can give out 25 books a month and it doesn't cost you a dime. Now, let's get into another concept. Let's say you want to work in a new home community. Well, why not have a version of your book? By the way, you can have as many versions of your book. Now, if you're on a team, you can't have, these are individual licenses. So you can only have one license per person, but you can have multiple versions of your book. So on the back cover, let's say you're working with a new home community. Well, all of a sudden it's the Arbors at Brushy Trail. So now you're going to create a back cover just for that subdivision. It's going to have a map of the subdivision, maybe a picture of the amenity center. Maybe it'll have maybe even a picture of the salesperson that you've partnered with at that community, right? It's got all the information of that subdivision. And then you go to the Arbors of Brushy Trail. Maybe you do a mock-up of it and say, look, if I can become your preferred real estate agent for this community, in other words, when somebody comes here and they need to sell a house before they buy one of yours, okay, just give them my free book, okay? Just say, hey, this gal right here, this guy right here, Marcia, we recommend her to get your home sold. So if you need to sell a home, and then guess what? It's marketing them on the back. It's marketing you on the front. See, this is what we call partnerships. Let's say you want to work with a divorce attorney, okay? Now all of a sudden, by the way, attorneys love to see themselves in print. Who do you think has for years been on the back of the yellow pages? Attorneys. They love to see ads of themselves. So all of a sudden, you just create an ad, or you have an ad made. You go to Fiverr, Fiverr.com. For $10, $5, they'll create an ad, full page ad of that law firm. And probably the attorney might even have an ad already in stock that he's used in the past, he or her. And you say, hey, for your divorce clients, I'm a divorce specialist. So for your clients, what I'd like to do is have a special version of my book. And then I'll give you 10 copies at a time. And whenever you need more, just let me know and I'll print up more. Okay. Let's say you have 10 or 15 attorneys that are running through your program, okay, where they have their own customized book. how to sell the home, and it might even be how to sell your home when facing divorce, whatever the title is. You can change the title, just make a different cover, okay? Now all of a sudden you've got a different book, okay? And that book is given out to as what we call an IOV, an item of value. It's something that makes you different, makes you stand out, and makes you unique, okay? There are so many different applications for this. It's just insane that more people aren't doing it and using it to their full potentiality. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. One last thing I want to share with you before I open it up to questions is I want to show you the support site. Okay, I want to show you the support site because you're going to love it. This is where you go to get support. You have any questions, and you just go to. Actually, let me see here if it's on. So it's actually successwithlistings.com/support. And no, that's not, is it? Okay, success. Where's our, oh, I put it in wrong. Got to put the slash in there. So the support site, this is where you're going to get support. It's got our, the phone number up here that rings directly to Noemi. If you have questions or you get stuck, this is a phone number you can call and get help. And also I walk you through, because you don't want to just call a number and try to get help. You know, you can download the quick start guide here as well. You can download our vendor sponsor scripts. Let me show you this real quick. So the vendor sponsor scripts, all you've got to do is download those. Okay. I'm going to download it real quick and show you what they look like. Okay. And now guess what? You've got your vendor scripts. So to get your vendors rounded up, you basically just fill this out. What handyman are you going to reach out to? What home inspector, et cetera. And then it goes through your call script. What are you going to say when you call these people to get them to be your sponsor? What are you going to, how do you mention the price to them? Okay, this is another script around that. Here's an email script. You could use this as a text script as well. So these are scripts that you're going to use to make your calls or send your emails to generate your sponsors for your guide. Now, what I always like to do is if I'm going after a painter, for example, I'm going to hit up 3 painters. I'm going to make sure all of them are on the same email so they see each other. And I say, hey, I've got my new book. It's coming out next month. The first painter that responds that they're in gets it. And I send it out to all 3 of them. That way I make it competitive. The first one that gets back with me gets the spot, okay? If you just send it to them one at a time, they're like, well, let me think on it. But now you know I got you and 2 of your closest competitors on the same email. The first one that gets back to me gets the spot. It's 99 bucks. Who wants it? By the way, you can't even get a steak dinner or a nice dinner for $99 with a couple of drinks thrown in. It's not going to happen. And yet I'm promising to take you with me on every listing appointment that I go on for 99 bucks. It's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. So that's that. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, let me go back. Let me go back to this, is you also get the sponsor enrollment form. Okay, let me show you that. So the sponsor enrollment form, all you do is you click it, you download it. Okay, once you download that, it'll open up. It's actually a zip. Is it? Yeah, there it is. And it's editable. So this is a form that all you have to do once they say yes, I'm in. Rebecca, I want to do it, or Johnny, I want to do it, or Anthony, I want to do it. Then you just have them fill out this form. You send this form to them. You can edit it yourself, but you basically, or you actually can print this out, and then you put in the company name, the phone number, what website do you want? Okay, this is going to be a sample of what their directory would look like, and then you could send this to them to fill out, or you can fill it out for them. They can check what category they are. Are they a home remodeler, home inspector, handyman, mortgage, and then you could actually collect your credit card payment by calling them, or they can Venmo or PayPal or whatever you choose. They can pay you for that spot, okay? And you can even make it a recurring payment if you choose to do that. So that's the system that I've set up for you guys to succeed. Those of you that have paid me to license this, doesn't cost you a dime because you get that license back, plus you get your books printed for free. Those of you in Mentorship Masters, that's the program. I'm going to go to the chat and see what's going on here. Okay. Rebecca says G Suite offers the entire Microsoft Office suite for $6 a month, I think. Cool. That's great. That's good to know. So Rebecca's asked, is this a tax write-off? Everything that we do in real estate is a tax write-off. I haven't found anything that well, there's a couple things we can't write off that are personal, but this is 100% completely business. And for the business that's advertising, okay, this is a advertising expense, so it's 100% tax deductible for sure. Yes, she's asking, are you taking the money? Yes, you're taking the money. You know, it's, this is, they're paying for an ad in your book. Okay. If any of you guys have questions around RESPA, I've had about, I don't know, 200 or 300 people in Canada license this, and thousands of realtors here in America license this. Not one single, zero. How many? None. This is 100% RESPA compliant. I've got the information on that if you need it. For those of you that are afraid of that, I've talked to multitudes of attorneys. I've talked to attorney departments. No one has been able to say this is non-RESPA compliant. There's not an attorney on the planet that could say it because this is just an ad. It's an advertisement. They're getting an advertisement spot in exchange for their dollar. They're not, it's not a RESPA violation to do that. So, okay, so are there any other questions that you guys have around this? I know, Teresa, you had a couple questions and you got stuck on a few things. You can either unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can type it here. Pamela says, good to know about RESPA. I have kind of a couple of paragraphs about RESPA. I'm just telling you right now, if people that understand RESPA, if you talk to attorneys, you know what RESPA is. There's certain things that you absolutely cannot do, but it does not forbid anyone from marketing or advertising their business. Okay, so what questions do y'all have around this? Has it been thorough enough? Does it make sense? Yes. Okay. Rebecca says yes. It's good. Thank you. Anybody else? This is the most powerful. I took over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in real estate. This is the most powerful tool that I've ever used, and I'm giving it to you guys for free. So I'm just not understanding why more people aren't using it. Charles Lee says it's easy to put together a book. It's easy to put the book together. Yeah, Charles Lee has already put his together. It's popping, and so yeah. So the printing company, I recommend that you go to the README file for the printing company. Okay, and in the README file, it basically Rebecca's asking, how do you get it printed? And let me just show you. Right now, I'll just tell you, we're using a company called Lulu, but it changes from time to time. So right now, Lulu is the one that is really, we like them quite a bit, lulu.com. And they're super duper easy to use. And let me just show you, let me look here. I'm gonna log in. Is this, let me see. So basically, let me just show, without even logging in, I'll just show you. So on Lulu, all you got to do is say, you're not going to publish the book. You're just going to print the book. You're going to click right here where it says start your book. And it's not recognizing my login, but it's super duper simple. You just click the kind of book you want, and then you say the book size, and all this is on the README file. You don't have to think. It tells you what book size, everything, how to fill this out. So in this case, it's 80 pages. I'm going to go to black and white standard is what you want to pick. 60-pound white is the kind of print. You can print any kind of binding that you want, coil, hardcover, paperback. I recommend paperback. And then your cover finish, you can go glossy or matte. Okay, let me show you the difference. It's a little hard to see, but this, hold on. Well, I'll show you. Let me just finish this, and I'll show you the difference between glossy or matte. I typically pick glossy. That's what most books are. Okay, and you can see that my book cost is $3.14. Okay, and that's for one. You can order one book literally. This is a printing on demand company, so you can order. Now there are other print companies out there. We used to recommend another one, and they got a little lax on their quality, so we started using Lulu. Okay. .com. But there are other printing companies out there. It doesn't really matter which one you use. They should all be around comparable price. And what Lulu does, they almost always have coupons. So you can see right here that 10% off orders of all print products. So right now they've got a 10% off coupon. Sometimes they'll have a 15% off. Sometimes they'll have a 20% off. So you can see that this $3.14, once I apply the coupon, is going to go to, it's going to be 30 cents off that price. So it's going to be about $2.70 per book to print, okay? I've even had people print them in China where they've actually gotten like crazy discounts, but you've got to print like 1,000 of them or some crazy number. So this is a matte finish. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's no shine to it. This is what we call a matte finished book, okay? And this is a gloss finish, shiny. See that? You know, makes a perfect drink holder. Whereas the matte would probably get a little bit messy, okay? So that's all it is to order your book. It's super easy. Lulu.com is who we use right now. Okay, so Teresa said, you answered my questions, I think. I'm going to tackle this again today. One of the tricky things about, and let me just mention this, Teresa, because there is a little bit of a trick, and those of you that have already edited the book have already figured this out. But there's a little bit of a trick here, you know, when you go to print the book out. By the way, the other thing I think I showed you guys is that we do also give you, or I give you the cover editable as well. And so, you know, you can go in and edit this cover with your trades and all that. But going back to the book itself, so when you print the book out, I've done this in what I call right reading pages, okay, right reading sections. So let me explain what that means. Let me see if I can get to one where it shows you that one. 20. Yeah, here's one. So I'm going to show you guys what this is, because sometimes this gets very confusing for people. So you notice that this page right here, this is page 23, okay? And then from 23, it skips to page 25. See that? There's no page 24. So a lot of people get very confused when they go to print this, and they think they're missing pages, and it's not the case. Let me explain this. I'm gonna have to stop my share to explain it to you. So when you're printing a book, and I've created a lot of books over time, I was real happy with myself when I actually learned how to create a book on Microsoft Word. Many people don't realize this, and sometimes I get after you guys for doing everything. One of our masters was asking me yesterday, you know, at what point do I hire help? And I'm like, day one, you hire help. And I get after you guys because these are the same mistakes that I personally made, okay? This book right here, let me share this with you. And this might be a mistake that I continue to make because I love doing nerdy stuff. But I actually did the cover for this book, okay, front and back. I did the layout of this book. Every single page in here, I laid it out myself in Microsoft Word, okay? I typed up the entire book myself. Now, for most of it, probably 90% of it, I used Siri, okay? So I actually dictate most of my books, and Siri types it up for me, and I go back and backfill in the information. But all the layout and everything that you see in here. See, I was a graphic designer before I became a real estate agent. When I was in the music business, that's what I did. I did graphic design. I did almost all the album covers for our record label. I had a magazine. When I was 23 years old, I started my very first magazine. It was called Heaven's Hip Hop Magazine, where I interviewed Christian rap, artists. And I had this magazine I put out every single month. And so I know how to do this stuff. It's just some stuff I do. I do graphic design and all that kind of stuff just because that's what I do. But when you look at books, some books are what they call right reading pages, and some are just they're not right reading. So let me give you an example. So in this book that I wrote called The Secret to Knowing God's Will for Your Life, you'll notice that on page 51, it starts a new chapter, okay? So then as you keep going, page 60 starts another chapter, okay? Now, many books, probably the majority of books, when you look at them, you may not know this, but the majority of books, when a new chapter begins, the new chapter starts on the right-hand page. It doesn't start on the left-hand page. But there are some books now that are coming out where the chapters actually go, some are right-facing, some are left-facing pages. So whenever you have one that's more of a right-facing type of book, you'll notice in a book like that, all of the pages begin, okay, on the right-hand side. Okay, let me give you an example, just from my original. This is when I first created it. So you'll notice that page 24 is blank. Okay, so it starts a new page on the right-hand side, and then a new chapter, I should say. When you go to chapter 4, it does the same thing. When you go to chapter 5, it's going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so these are blank pages. Blank pages. So for whatever reason, when you get into Microsoft Word and you see it, when you see it in Word, you'll notice that it just looks like it's skipping pages, but just those are blank pages. So when you actually go to print it out, it's gonna insert a blank page for page 24, for example, and then page 25 is going to pick up. So that's all it's doing there. It looks confusing. And sorry I spent so much time on that, but that's probably one of the number one questions that I've gotten was people are just confused. One other thing too is that some people, like John, what he did, instead of, he put his bio on the back and then he put his sponsors on the inside of the book. There's all kind of ways, guys, that you can do this. And I have a bunch of other samples of the book here as well. But what other questions do you guys have? Let's see. Yeah, Tracy says, thank you for providing the tools that we need to succeed. My pleasure, Tracy. These are things that God has gifted me with. And these are original ideas that they're not really original because there's nothing new under the sun, but these are ideas that God gave me. And so I pass them on and share them with others. And by the way, I tell people, even if you're not in Mentorship Masters and you want to create a book and you decide to write your own, you can do that, okay? Don't use mine if you haven't bought the copyright license, because there's a $150,000 fine that the U.S. copyright law enacts for anybody that infringes if you take somebody else's work. That's why I tell people, just if you want it, you don't want to join Mentorship Masters and get it for free, just license it. Have your sponsors pay for it. It's done. Okay. Yeah. So I think most of you guys don't really have any questions around it. I think for the majority of you, you just need to get to doing it. Get to doing it. As you are doing it, okay, if you get stuck, go to the support site. That's the first place you're going to start. It's successwithlistings.com/support. You can email Noemi. You can call her up on the phone and say, I am stuck. Okay. She can pull up your computer. She can look at what's going on, look at where you're going wrong or whatever. But again, the last step is just to print that baby out and send it and then upload it to Lulu or whoever you use to print. Just do it. Pamela said, just do it. I'm in the same boat. It took me so long to update mine. I've been with EXP for 16 months. Okay. And I'm still, because I was with Keller Williams for 10 years, that's a long time. I was still rolling around. I think Rebecca and some other masters were like, dude, you need to update this stuff. And so I started updating, and I was just procrastinated. Like, I don't feel like doing it. And I was like, dude, when I finally did it, it wasn't that hard. It's like, it's not, because 95% of it is already done for you. Already done for you. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I want you to start implementing this book, because it will change your life. It will change your life. The new version of it. Oh, one other thing I wanted to share with you. If you want to get a custom cover, some of you guys are like, look, I don't like that generic cover. I want, like you could see here, I'm rocking EXP. I got the Knolly team right there. You know, I've got kind of a little bit different approach to the back cover. My favorite designers, let me just show this to you, for $20. You got a 20 on you? You know, can you pull a 20 out of your pocket? If you can hire somebody to do your cover for you, okay? And let me show you where to get that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. So again, you're going to go back to the support page, and let me get back over here. Hold on. Where's my support? Oh, here we go. Okay, and by the way, you see how I did that? I don't know if you saw that, but if you're in Mentorship Masters portal, if you're logged in and you're in the toolkit download, basically all you have to do is click this green button that says access the client support page. Boom, and it takes you right to the support page, okay, without having to remember what it is. So the other thing is you're going to go all the way, but let me just show you how to get this a custom cover, okay, custom cover. So I've got two designers that I like. I call Fiverr Designer A and Fiverr Designer B, okay? So you can check out both of these guys and tell me what you think or for anywhere from $10 to $40. I mean, don't tell me what you think, but just decide for yourself which one you want to use. These are designers that do book design. Okay, that's what they specialize in. That's what they're real good at doing. And so you just click on that link. It's going to take you straight to that Fiverr designer that does it. Oh, I don't see. Oh, they changed the links. See, that's another problem. Sometimes these links will change up on you. And this guy's still in here. So, you know, just go with this one, $15, okay? He's got a premium is probably what you'll want. It's $40, okay? So I said 20, sorry, $40, okay? You don't have to do that. You can go with the cover that I've already created for you in Microsoft Word. You can just use that one. But if you want, you say, hey, Knolly, I really want a custom cover, man. I want it to pop. Then you can hire this guy right here for $40. Or if you're on Fiverr, just look up book cover design and see who comes up. See who you like. I'm sure there's a lot of new ones that are here that have joined Fiverr since since I posted my favorites. Okay, here's one right here that looks pretty good. But look, starting at $470. Yeah, you don't have to get too crazy. You know, it's not that serious, guys. Just get it done. Just do it. All right. Love you guys. Unmute yourself. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Thanks, Knolly.
And we're out.
Thank you.
All right. Love y'all.
Appreciate you.
You bet.
Thank
See you next
you.
week.
Thank you so much.